Hola. How art thou? Oh, that's the other camera. 1 second. The other camera is picking up my mic. When I need it to do it, it won't. Interesting. Interesting. I don't get it because it's not allowing me to go all the way down. But anyway, hi. How art thou? How art thou? How are you guys? I miss you guys. I'm like, I miss you guys. But listen, I need to bring some Graphghan chair so we could get this party started now. And we're gonna learn something new today because I actually learned some things. I did some homework and learned some things, things. And I said, let me teach you guys what I learned. So I got my tea going. I got my water because if y'all know me, I gotta have some water. I got my other camera going, and let's see, yeah, the other camera is going, and then we got some props going. Yeah, we gonna have a good time today. We're gonna have a good time. You ready? I'm ready too. So I know some people were saying that they wanted to like 3 people, not a lot, just 3 said they wanted to learn um how to color change because they're having some issues. And so I said, you know what, let me do a revamp because I'm always doing tutorials on this. But I said, let me dig deep into it, like really, really deep into it. Hey guys, listen. Vanessa, can you please be my moderator? Thank you very much. I love her. But what I did was I have some props because I think that we need to know the extent. So if you know me, you know I'm very thorough in what I do. Very, 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 very thorough. I don't like just saying, oh, this is how you change the colors and then leave it like that. I don't like that. I don't like it because then it's like you may learn my way of changing colors, but it may not work for you. You may have a problem. So that's why I said, let me dig deep into this, and I'm going to teach you the way that I was taught in the beginning, the way that I learned from YouTube University. And then I'm going to show you um, my made up situation that I did one day when I was like, oh, this works for me. And you guys can see how it works for you. What I do believe in is in preference. Your preference makes a difference, okay? So, what works for me may not work for you. But if you use your preference, it may be beneficial for you and it may work better for you than it worked for the next person. So just keep that in mind, and that's what I'm going to go over as well, because I think that is something that a lot of people miss. They miss the fact that you are learning how to do something that has so many different ways, so many different structures, so many different um preferences, and there's not no one set way. I would be wrong if I show you one set way. I would just be wrong. And I'm not wrong. I'm a diva. So I'm not wrong. But so I'm gonna show you different ways. But what I'm gonna do is each step, because I have, I didn't type it out this time, because usually if you took my class, I type out a whole entire, like, what you call it, a PowerPoint and everything. I didn't do all of that, but what I did do, what I am going to do is take this video, chop it up, and do little versions of it, because my son is a genius. He told me what to do, and he said, "Ma, just take this video and chop it up and just put it out separate, so that if one set works for you, you could always go back to it instead of doing the whole thing." Because I know this is going to be like an hour and a half long video. I already know it. Because I talk a lot and I give very, very thorough information. So, yeah, I give thorough information. But, so I did a basic Graphghan at one point. In the basic Graphghan tutorial, I taught some basic things. So if you know the basics, you will be good. When it comes to the changing colors, that's where we have the problem, because that's majority of your whole entire situation is changing colors. In order to do a Graphghan, you need to learn how to change colors. You need to know how to do the color changeration, and that's where we have the problem. The color changeration is in how it looks, because some of us are so-called perfectionists, but I'm going to tell you, I don't believe in that word, because none of us are perfect. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all Virgos, some Virgos are perfectionists. Because I used to say to myself, I'm a perfectionist. And then one person said, there's no one ever perfect except for your higher power. So I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, right. So I don't want to say that it's a perfect situation. What I'm going to say is, it's the best situation for you, the best strategy for you, the best outcome for you. And that is damn near perfect. Whatever is good for you is damn near perfect. All right. So I got some notes. Take out my notes because, I'm a diva. I have to have notes. And I'm damn near perfect. Yeah, I got issues. So don't mind me. If you watch me and you know me, I got issues. I'm gonna drink some tea on that. Okay, so I have like 3, 4. Actually, it's 3 techniques. It's 3 techniques. And I think that the 3 techniques is actually going to turn into 5, because I'm going to show you how to do half double crochet version and single crochet version. Am I saying that right? Yeah. I promise y'all I didn't have nothing to drink. Well, technically, no alcohol at all. I don't need alcohol. I just need caffeinated, not even coffee, tea. Caffeinated tea is what gets me going. And that's why I'm like shaking like a, yeah, problem. I got problems. I know. But all right. So I did some samples. Let me pull up the other camera. I don't want to pull up the other camera though, because I feel like I'm damn near not perfect at all with this setup. But I have like 3 cameras and I never get the right setup. Never, ever, ever get the right setup. But we gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. Okay, here we go. So I feel like this needs to be up more. See what I'm saying? I never get this right, but we gonna get it right. We gonna get it right. Couldn't agree more. Oh yeah, Destiny. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Perfection is only in your head. I think some people like to say perfection because it's a psychological thing. If you're gonna say you're a perfectionist, because 9 times out of 10 they nowhere near being a perfectionist. I think they say it just to say it, just to hear themselves saying it, or just to say to someone. Because there are, like Virgos, some people who really are or believe that they are perfectionists. But I believe that some people say it just because they special and they want people to think that they are, when in reality, nah, not at all. But I'm gonna pick this up a little bit because I feel like this camera needed to be up a little bit more. I feel like that. Now what? There's always something. There we go. All right. All right. So let me show you the camera. I just be feeling some type of way about it though. But we gonna get it going. All right. I just feel like this is not working the way I want it to work. You know what it is? It's maybe I did put it up too high. Okay, let me take it down. But you know what though? Before I go into the camera, because this is really going to tick me off. I do want to say that the first thing I did want to cover was the starting, which is hooks. Your hook makes a difference, and I know everyone has their favorite hooks, right? We all have our favorite hooks, but what we don't really pay attention to, and I had to pay attention when someone bought me a hook. When they bought me a hook, that's when I realized, oh, I do have a favorite hook depending on what project I do. Depending on what project I do, I have a favorite hook. So when I do my Graphghans, I have to have clover hooks. And they're like my favorite to go hooks for majority of everything that I do. But then there's another hook that I have that I try to use as well. And I think that helps me, which is what you call it? Is it the rope? The furrow. It's the furrow hook. But I'm going to show you a couple of things first, because it's very vital that you understand the differences in the hooks and which one is best for you, because the changing of the colors make a difference. The changing of the colors is very important. Where is it? I know I had it. Oh, here it is. It's the furrow hook. I know some people probably use the I know a lot of people use the clover. I know some people probably use like Susan Bates and stuff like that. Then I have some the Dunts. I have some what's this? Boy. I don't really use them anymore. So yeah, I only use clover. And why is it showing like that? I feel like it should. I feel like it should be different. It is what it is. This is what we're gonna get. I wonder if I change it this way. Anyway, the hook that I use the most is the clover hook, and I use that because the aluminum, it's called aluminum. This right here is really smooth, and it when you put it against your yarn, it makes a difference. It makes a lot of a difference. So what you might want to do is take your hook and your yarn and just rub it against it like this and see the static of it. Now the reason why I do this is because I want to see which one is smooth, and that makes a difference in your changing colors, right? Because when we crochet kind of fast. So when you crochet kind of fast, you want to make sure that the yarn is smoothly gliding, and that's the problem that we might have when it comes to changing your colors. Because when you change your colors, you want it to be as smooth transition as possible, and the smooth transition is not going to work if you don't have a smooth base. And the cheaper hooks tend to not have a smooth base, which I don't like saying that because I think that the Susan Bates and the boy served its purpose for me in the beginning. But the more I got accustomed to crocheting and got more experienced, I noticed the difference when I used another one. Now, don't argue with me, don't fight with me about the differences in the hook because it's preference. Okay. So if you feel like boy is good for you, by all means use it. But what I'm going to say is try another hook. Just buy one, because trying will allow you to see at least if you like it, at least if it helps, at least if it makes a difference in your projects. Now, specifically Graphghans, because with a Graphghan, you're changing colors multiple times. And when you change your colors multiple times, you start seeing in the beginning, you start seeing the difference. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have the static going on in between. You don't see the changing colors. You're changing coloration and stuff like, oh my God, I'm disappearing. Jesus. You don't see that. So because you don't see, my light is not good or something. Maybe my light not good because I'm disappearing. So when you I got issues. When you start realizing that you have, why is this happening? When you start realizing that you have a good hook just by using it, just by trying it, then you're like, oh my gosh, where have this hook been all my life? Because that's what happened to me. It actually was given to me as a gift. One hook was given to me as a gift, which was the furrow. The furrow hook was given to me as a gift, and I did not want to use it because I was so stuck on my Susan Bates. That was my girl. We was best friends for a long time. And then I kind of cheated on her with Boy. But Boy wasn't doing much for me, so I went back to Susan Bates. But I think I kept going back and forth. My sneaky leak was the Boy though. But furrow came into my life, and I saw the difference because I felt like I was able to crochet faster, like really quick. I was able to crochet quicker than I was with the Susan Bates and the Boy. And then I realized that I had a whole situation going on because someone told me about clover. And once they said clover this, clover that, clover this, clover that, I had to get a piece of clover. I had to find out what is going on with clover that I needed it so bad. And that's when I realized that clover was where I needed to be. Clover is where I stayed, and that's just that. Clover is my go-to. And let me see something. I think I know what I'm gonna do now. Don't mind me. So since I became a clover fanatic, since I became a clover fanatic, I realized that my crochet projects were better. And that's something I don't think we realize either. your crochet projects will probably be better because the smoothness of your crocheting, the smoothness of it. Are you a pencil or a knife holder? Furls as pencil holder is way too thick. I'm a diva holder. I'm a diva holder. I'm a diva holder. I have no idea. I used to be a knife holder. Now I'm a diva holder. Holder. I crochet weird. I don't even use the pencil holding position. Writing, I don't know. Maybe because I went to Catholic school and I was special. I don't know. And I don't mean special as in I was special because I went to Catholic school, like roses and pearls and stuff like that. No, special like the like that special because you'll see. You'll see. So I will show you all the hooks that you need. Okay, so let me see. Let me push that forward. So I have furl. I have clover. This right here is tulip. Tulip. It's a tulip. 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 I have boy. I have da-dunk, because this is the no frills one that you could buy for like 50 cents or $1 or whatever. The da-dunk. This is the aerogarmic whatever thingy majig, which I never used because it was just so awkward because I don't hold my hooks like a normal person. So because I don't hold it like a normal person, it just doesn't serve the purpose. But it's an egonomic whatever. And this right here is boy, but this was supposed to be an egonomic. I know I'm saying it wrong. Please don't hold me to that. It's not an economic. Okay. It's just the omic way of holding the hook. Okay. So don't hold me to that, please. I just know how to crochet. But yeah, this is where it all started. But it all finished with this and this. And sometimes this. And only this, because this is K. So if I ever have to use K is it has this aluminum top, whereas the clover K is plastic. So clover do not have K like this. So that's why I went to tulip. But I have this in K, but sometimes this is not as fast as I need it to be. So I use this. Let's just say I go in between these three. Okay? Clover, tulip, and furl. And that's just depending on how I feel. But majority of the time, clover gives me what I need. Then tulip, then furl. Yeah. These three gives me my satisfaction. Ergonomic. Thank you. I'm going to keep it C rated, crochet rated, because anyway, I don't know. Thank you, hon. Thank you. So as you can see, I did this just to show how your color change is supposed to be. Depending on your your design. Your lines are supposed to be nice and neat. Even see how you are going in this diagonal. The lines are sharp, but you also have to make sure that you have a good graph. If you do not have a good graph, that's another thing that you have to worry about. You may not have a good um hmm, right. You may not have a good outcome, and that might be your problem. So the frustration that a lot of people have is the fact that their finished product might not look good. It might look like you have your color changes are not looking like it's changing colors the way it's supposed to be. So because of that, it may not even be you. It may be the hook, it may be the yarn, or it may be the graph. So those are the three main things you need to make sure you have preference. Make sure you have a good hook that you are comfortable with. Make sure you have a good graph, which I can't tell you where you can find good graphs except for me. I just can't. But there are people out there that do good graphs. There I have videos on my channel that tells you what good graphs look like, because not all graphs that you purchase are good graphs. There's lines on there that can make your graph be wonky. It may look like you have that you need to connect the dots. If you have to connect the dots with your graph, it may not be a good graph for you, because it's gonna show that in your work. So when you crochet it, then you're gonna have skipped lines, and that's not what you want. And you may think it's a color changing problem, but it's not. It's actually a graphing problem. So don't beat yourself up. If you have a good graph, you're good. And you just, that way you know where your issue is. Because a lot of people say I'm not getting it right, but in reality it may be that you're not using a good graph. It doesn't mean that you're not changing colors right. It may be that you're not using a good graph, and it looks like your graph is not closing properly, or the lines are not smoothed out, and that could be because you don't have a good graph. If you ever have a problem and you want to get a graph and you don't know if it's a good graph or not, just ask. And someone could probably, let you know. But I would say ask one of the Graphghan teams, like, is this a good graph to purchase or whatever? Or you go to a reputable person that has good graphs. I taught so many people that they are out there on Etsy land. So there's a lot of people out there that are selling graphs that I taught personally, but those that I didn't teach, I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. But and that's just because I'm not going to crochet everything in the world. I'm not going to graph everything in the world. So there's always going to be graphs out there that you're going to see that you want. So just, be buyer beware, because a lot of times they show you pictures and the pictures look good, but when you actually get the graph, you'll be like, what is this? Be careful. Just buyer beware. And I would suggest you stick with like the same couple of people. Don't graph hop, because graph hopping can cause a problem as well. All right, so now let's go into the next thing. Yarn. I usually stick with the same yarn, which is basically I love this yarn, or what is it? Big Twist or Red Heart. The reason why I stick with some of the same yarns is because the thickness makes a difference. You don't want to keep changing different brands unless they're the same. So this one right here is I Love This Yarn. And this one right here is Big Twist. Big Twist and I Love This Yarn is kind of sort of around the same exact weight. And it feels just about the same. But when you go into I I was about to say Big Red, Lord. Red Heart. Red Heart is a little bit thicker in consistency. So just be careful when you are adding. If you're going to use Red Heart, use Red Heart throughout your whole entire Graphghan. And I'm saying that because Red Heart is thick. And it can be thicker than I Love This Yarn and Big Twist. Big Twist and I Love This Yarn is thin. So why am I saying Big Red? Probably because I'm looking at something that's Big Red. But anyway, Red Heart is thicker and it's going to overpower the two softer yarns, because these two you can make like clothes and stuff with it, and it's very thin. It's good on your skin and everything. So I don't mess with the Big Red yarn, Red Heart yarn too much unless I really, really, really have to. And 9 times out of 10 is because I need a certain color that they may have. So if I use it, I am a little careful if I mix it with my brand. But for newer people who are, doing this and want this to come out right, I will play around with it later on. But as of right now, it will overpower your yarn. It will overpower. And then you're going to have holes, and then you're going to think that it's you, and it's not. It's not you at all. It's the yarn. So make sure you are careful with your hook, your graph, and your yarn. Those 3 things are like very important for a good turnout in your color changing. So now that we got all of that going, we're going to get to the color changing. All right, so I started off with let's see. I started off with the optical triangle, and I used HDC. HDC is my go-to. So you gotta, for Graphghans, no at all, no double crochet. And the reason why for a Graphghan, especially if you're making a blanket or whatever, double crochet is long and skinny, so it's gonna distort your image. Now, I'm not saying you can't use it. What I'm saying is for certain Graphghans, it's gonna basically cause your image to be distorted. So say for instance you wanted to make a heart, your heart is going to be taller and slimmer, only because you're using, oh wait, you know what, I had got the pictures for you. Yeah, you don't want it to be taller and skinny, because once it's taller and skinny, then everything else is out the door, and then it's gonna look a hot mess. Let me see. Save your work. What that mean? Save your work. Pause to prevent overheating. Oh Lord. Is this overheating? No, it's not overheating. So why did it say that? Oh, pause to prevent overheating. Duh. Let me start drinking this tea. I promise you, I have no alcohol in it. Just a little bit of caffeine always get me going. All right, so okay, so the next color change I'm gonna do. So I have a thing with naming things. I don't know why. I just have a habit of naming things. Okay, so don't mind me. This didn't have a name, but I decided to name it, and I decided to name it what you call it? Scoop the Loop, right? So I'm gonna show you how to scoop the loop. I got issues. I use scoop the loop with this. So this is a type of color change that I call scoop the loop. And this is single crochet scoop the loop. And this is half double crochet scoop the loop. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do scoop the loop and see how clean it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you want. You want it to look nice and clean, the color changing to look like actual color changing. The thing is, I'm such a perfectionist. Oops, not almost perfectionist that I even get color changing that I don't want to do perfect. Damn near perfect. Like, I gotta stop saying perfect. But yeah, like, so also take into consideration also too, even when you're making a blanket, as you can see, um, this dips in a little bit, like a inside, because when you're color changing, it starts going in. So you have this part out, but this part in. And that's only because when you're color changing, it might be a little bit tight. I crochet tight. Don't crochet tight. Don't color change tight. Don't do it. Don't do it. I promise you. Don't do it. All right, so let me show you how to do scoop the loop. You're gonna see why I call it scoop the loop. Don't. I'm gonna first start scoop the loop in HDC. And the reason why I'm gonna do it in HDC is because that's my go-to. Also, find a stitch. I didn't write that down. I did write that down. I just didn't read it. Okay, no more caffeine. When you do your stitches, if HDC is comfortable for you, use that. If not, then use single crochet. Y'all can hear me okay. I think y'all can hear me okay. All right. Just making sure my mic is working pretty. You said yes, ma'am, and then the whole wire fell off. Only me. Only me. Anyway, so I'm just adding this to this right now so that I can show y'all how to do scoop the loop. But if you guys have any questions, ask your questions and I will be more than happy to help you. Now, the size hook that I generally use for my Graphghans is uh it is the I hook, which is what, 5.5. But I'm laughing because I lately started using the J. And the reason why I started using the J is because I crochet really tight. I like, my mom used to say that I fight when I crochet. She said it seems like I'm fighting when I not that she knows how I fight, but you know, she is my mom though. But she says that it seems like I'm fighting when I am crocheting. And I could kind of see what she's talking about because I used to crochet like so tight, like this, like and now I'm quicker, but I still see me crocheting tight, like really, really tight. So just try to be as relaxed as possible and try not to be as tight because that too can affect the way your stitching can be. How do you change colors while doing your start and chain? I don't. I don't. I do a base first. I don't. When you do your starting chain, I just do that same color. You know what? I'm lying. I have. That's only because I'm diva and I'm special. Um, mm, I don't want to confuse you, but I have done it before. But it was only because I test myself all the time, and I try to, like, do different things. And do you know how to do a foundation? If you know how to do a foundation single crochet or foundation half double crochet, um, that's basically how I would do it. So if you have to do 3 red and 3 purple, and you have to change that color. So as I'm doing the foundation single crochet or half double crochet, I will start with the 4 red, and then as I'm doing that, I will add the purple. And that's with doing the foundation crochet. So if that's what you want to do, you could do it. But to be honest, I don't, because I always give myself a border anyway. So whatever color I make my border, that's what I start with. And I usually do like 2 to 3. And that's if I add it to the graph or not. I always start with the um the chain, and then I do 2 rows of the half double crochet. Sorry. So yeah, all right, so now I'm going to show you how to do scoop the loop. Yeah, I never saw someone hold it. Oh, only you, Kitty, reminding me that I hold my hook a different way. I know, right? Yeah, special. Okay, so all right, so let me show you how to do the scoop the loop. I don't like this method. Even though it looks cool, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'm just letting you know that. Let me no, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to change it. There we go. It's not allowing me to do that. Oh, I don't even know how I did that, but we're going to leave that alone. Okay, so we're going to start off with, I should have bought my glasses. Only me. We're going to start off with doing 3. So I'm going to do HDC 3, and then I'm going to add the next color. So the next color is going to be the orange. Okay, so watch this, y'all. Watch the scoop de loop. You're going to see why I call it scoop de loop. So as you can see, right, we have the 3, 1, 2, and 3 slants right here that forms your HDC. So the 3 slants is where we're going to scoop in. We're going to take our hooks and we're going to scoop in to all 3. You have to make sure you do all 3 for the HDC, because if you don't, it's gonna not work. So you're gonna go in, right? Then you're gonna take your new color and pull it through. Then what I do is yarn over, because we're doing HDC, and I'm gonna take this tail and I'm gonna crochet over the tail. So go in, pull up, and pull through all 3. And then I'm gonna take this and pull it over a little, just pull it. But then when I'm finished, I'm going to pull this. And when I pull this, this is how it looks. So yarn over, go through, just do a regular HDC. And then you keep going, doing your HDC. And as I'm doing my HDC, I'm crocheting over the tail. Now, I'm leaving all of my strings on one side, which is this side. So whatever side you feel comfortable in starting it off with or ending it, that's what you do. So now it's time to change colors. So I'm going to finish this HDC, pull up the loop. I'm going to get another bobbin ball or whatever, and that's another thing we're going to talk about, so that you don't so that you can know how to do your bobbins and not get your yarn tangled. Make a loop, and you're going to go in all 3. See, 1, 2, and 3. I don't like this because I like to just crochet and keep it moving. And I'm quick when I'm changing my colors, and this is not allowing me to be quick. So I don't like this. But it may work for someone else, you know? So then I complete my HDC, and then we just scoop the loop. And when you finish, just pull down on the loop, and there you go. So I did this on purpose because I want you to see when you are changing your colors, a lot of people have their yarn that hangs out in the front. I don't like it. I don't like it, but it's a reason why that I don't like it. It's a reason why. Because when you have to change it back or put it to the back, you're gonna basically cause some problems in your picture or some type of image, because depending on which way you put it back, it's gonna go over your stitch a little bit, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. But it's also neat to have all your strings to one side, so you can actually see how your project is coming, because when you have all of these strings hanging, you don't tend to see it. So this is a good idea for me. Everyone has a preference to basically crochet all of your strings towards one side. But this is bothering me, right? Like this is a problem for me, this hanging out. But I had to do it to show, some people, I see pictures, like when they taking progress pictures and you have strings hanging and it's the front of your work, and I'm like, how am I supposed to see that? How am I supposed to see it with all the strings hanging everywhere? But I had to learn, because I did it as well until my crochet mentor, because I did have a crochet mentor who was able to tell me that's not a good idea. Because you want all of your work to be on the same side so that you don't have to worry about your image being distorted a little bit, and you don't have to worry about you can always look at your work and make sure that your work is good and not have to worry about strings hanging and in the way, because you may not see it until after you're all done. You're weaving it in. That's another thing. I don't like weaving, so I try to weave as less as possible. Like as less as possible. Like seriously. Like in a 200 by 200 blanket, I 9 times out of 10 may have to do no more than like 10 strings weaving, because I don't like weaving. So I try to do most of my weaving as I crochet. All right, so I still do like the, pulling down a little bit and, oh wait, I, the scoop the loop. I gotta do the scoop the loop. I don't like this. I don't like this. All right, so now we're gonna continue doing the scoop the loop. Pull it up a little, and you're gonna go through all 3 of the loops, all 3 of them. Pick up your next color that's already there, because when you drop your yarn down, it's already there waiting for you. Pick it up, pull through, and then yarn over, go through your stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then continue going. And then you can pull down on this loop, and then there you go. Now, I don't like this, but it might be cool for some people. But I know likey. Eventually, the more I kept doing it, the more I was quicker doing it. So see, look, now this is gonna be up here. Look, I don't like that. It'll be best if it was back here, right? Um, and then you're gonna finish off your HDC. And then let me pull down on that. So when you pull down on it, it doesn't come apart because you scooped it in there. You scooped all 3 in there. But I'm gonna show you how it look if you miss. So say if you only scoop 2, I'm gonna show you how it look. So just in case it happens by accident and you don't realize it, you'll know how it looks. So pull that up, and then I'm only going to go through 2. 1 and 2. Now, as you see, I'm pulling this towards the front because this is the back of my work. So instead of putting my string down towards the back, I'm going to put it towards the front now, because when I turn my work, the back is facing towards me. So that's how I'm dropping my yarn, and I'm going to pick up the one that's next to it and go through the 2. Now yarn over and pull through all 3. Now, once I finish and I go to pull through that loop, because I only did it for 2. Once I pull through, it's a hole. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, see, it's a hole right there. You don't want the hole And it actually doesn't even, it looks like it's just one loop holding it. That's what it looked like, one loop. See, it's a hole. That's why you don't want it to, you don't want to do just the two when you're doing HDC. You do all three loops. So we're going to go back and do two because we need to be consistent. All right, so now I'm going to pull to the front my yarn, pick up the next one, go through the two, which is supposed to be three, but for demonstration purposes, I just use the two. And then pull that down, and then bang, there you go again. See, it's a hole. So make sure that you do all three when you're doing HDC. All right, let me go. I think you have questions. You mentioned last class you can start top, bottom, or from side. Do you have a preference? My preference is bottom right. So I would start all the way at the bottom on the right side, and then I will go over to the left, and then left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. Do you use a bobbin for your color changing, or do you start a new string each time you change color? So, first of all, I don't use bobbins. That's number one. I actually was going to order some bobbins to show you guys, and I forgot because I don't like bobbins. I used to use them back in the days, 20, what? It was like 2013, 2014. I don't use them anymore because I just like to crochet and get it going. And I have this routine where I'm just crocheting, 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 and my work gets done really fast, quickly. It gets done quicker when I don't have to worry about the bobbins and winding it up and all that. I don't have to worry about none of that at all. But I'll tell you what I do shortly. I'll tell you what I do. But there's different things that you can do and use. And I do have a video that tells you how to use different types of bobbins. I'm gonna write that down so I could add it to the description. I didn't add it, but the link for the bobbins, I'm gonna add that. All right, so that's how it looks, and that's how we are going to finish the HDC. So now let's go to the single crochet. Again, whatever is comfortable for you. If you feel like you want to use single crochet, then use single crochet. If you feel like you want to do HDC, then use HDC. HDC is actually longer for me, and I like the fact that it's longer. And this is like really small, but it's neat, you know, like it depends on who you are and your preference. Okay, so I'm looking all over. Don't mind me. I'm looking for my hook, and I'm like, I know I didn't get up or anything. You know how we lose our hooks, right? And I got a lot of acids and stuff, so it could be anywhere on me, and I don't even be knowing. All right, so I can answer any other questions while I add this color to this next project. But as far as the bobbins, it's just something that I don't like to use, but some people do. So some people live by their bobbins, and then some people have contraptions where, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the board that you put your braids on, like when you do weave, like when you braid hair and you put it on the little, yeah, it has the little spikes hanging out of the board. That's the only thing I could think of. Some people use that. They have their bobbins on there and then they wrap their yarn around there. And so when they turn it around, hair holder with pegs. Thank you. When you turn it around, it's easier to maneuver it with your yarn. So thank you. Thank you, Kimora and Kim. That's funny, Kimora and Kim. Both of y'all at the same time. All right. So I am crocheting over the tails. And as I'm crocheting over the tails, I'm putting it towards the back. So that so I don't have to worry about it being in my way for the front of my project. All right, so now that I got here. Now, when I do my color changing, I always have the colors set up. So being that I have my background color, which is on both sides, and then I have whatever picture you have in the middle. So whatever color changing you do, you're gonna need yarn for the sides. You need a bobbin for this one, a bobbin for this one, and a bobbin for this one, because I am not going to, I call it cross contamination, but I'm not crocheting over this cream and then use it for when I get over here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add new yarn to each side. So I have my string here. I have the orange for the wait 1 second. So I have the yarn for the middle. Then I have the orange for one side, right? And then orange for the next side. So that's how, so if you have a big project, which eventually I will show you how to do the multiple versions. But when you have a big project, I always look at the first like 10 rows and I see what colors I need first. So if you are doing bobbins and you already have it set, I know Gail, my girl Gail, sets it up for the whole entire project. So she knows that she needs 5 colors. She would do her background first in the largest bobbins, because the background you're gonna need larger bobbins. You're gonna need more yarn for the background, and then each one in the middle, each color, like the rest of the 4 colors that she's using, depending on how much it says, because in all of my graphs it tells you how much yarn you're supposed to use and how many stitches you're using that yarn. So it tells you each stitch. So for instance, if I had like maybe 500 stitches of the orange and I have 1,000 stitches of the cream, I know that I only need like a certain portion for my orange and a certain portion for my cream. So just know when you're doing your bobbins, you're gonna estimate this. You can always do it in the middle, do more in the middle, but you're gonna estimate it. This is different from your pop, lock, and drop method, right? Absolutely. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that. When you're crocheting over the tails, how do you prevent the tail from popping out? You block it, and I have a video for blocking. You block it. I'm gonna add that. I block it, which is basically a lot of times either I spray it with the fabric softener and water and spray it, or you wash it and it shrivels up inside. When it comes out of the washer, I air dry it. And when I air dry it, anything that I see that's peeking, I just cut. But 9 times out of 10, I don't, because it shrivels up the inside and it never comes out. I don't have that problem. I know some people do, but you gotta wash it and you gotta spray it. You gotta block it, and water shrivels it up and it doesn't move. That's my refrigerator. I was about to say, what is that buzzing sound? Lord. Yeah, so one. Oh wait, I have a habit of doing single crochet. I mean half double crochet. That's why I automatically start with half double, because that's my go-to stitch. All right, so single crochet and pull it up. Now I'm going to add my cream, and I'm going to go into both loops. So for the single crochet, we're going through both loops. And we're going to pull it up, and we're crocheting over. So again, when I'm doing this, you're going to make sure that your tails, all of your hanging tails, is going towards you or to the back, depending on the back of your yarn. Your project. So we're going to go in and complete our single crochet. And usually when I start, I just pull on the tail a little, because pulling on the tail will just close it together. And then keep going doing my single crochet. Okay, and then pull that, go in here, and pick up your next bobbin or whatever you want to call it, and pull through both. And as you can see, I'm pulling this string to the front, wherever my back of the project is. And then now I'm going to finish off my single crochet. I'm pulling this tail a little bit so that I don't have to worry about it being loose. I don't want my stitch to be loose. And there we go. So now I'm going to pull that and pull that. And that's how it looks. I'm going to do it one more time. Single crochet. Make sure you do both, because we don't want the holes, right? Make sure you do both of the loops. Pull through. Now complete single crochet. I really don't like this method, but someone is gonna like it, because this could be good for someone. Okay, I think it's good for those people who keep forgetting, like when it's time to change colors. A lot of people forget when it's time to change colors, so this might be a good way for those people that forget to know when to change colors, because you're completing the stitch. And with the other way, you don't complete the stitch. All right, so there we go. Now it's time to pull. There we go. And pull. There we go. And that's that. That's how you do the single crochet. If not, or when using bobbins, like how do you estimate how much yarn? I do it from now I do it this experience, because eventually down the line, the more Graphghans you do, you're going to be able to eyeball it and say, oh, I only need this amount on my bobbins. But for the graph, it's on mine. On my graphs, it has it on the ledger. On the back of it, it's a ledger page, and it tells you how much yarn you need, skeins of yarn, and it also shows you how many stitches of that color you need. So you should be able to estimate it pretty well with those counts. Anyone else, I don't know if they do that. I don't know if they add that to theirs. Also, crochet over many stitches with tail so that it's tucked in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting here like, what are you doing? Oh, you so silly. Yeah, so that's how I do my I don't do this, but this is how you do the single crochet, and this is how you do the half double crochet. So as you can see, the size is it makes a difference. So this is half double, and this is single crochet. So if you ever wanted to cheat and make something a little larger, do half double crochet. Because but single crochet, it makes it like small, and like it's curling up a little because it's really small, and it's like tight stitches. I got a problem with crocheting tight though, but yeah, so those are the two that I did: half double, single crochet, and that scoop the loop. Don't go on YouTube looking for scoop the loop, because there's no such thing as scoop the loop. I made it up. All I know is that's how I was taught a long time ago. Like a long, long time ago, that's how I was taught. And I didn't like it. So I found another way. So don't go looking for scoop the loop, because scoop the loop is no such thing. I just made it up because I needed a name. So I said scoop the loop. Okay. All right. So this is another one that I had learned. And this one this one I actually found on YouTube. This one is called, what did I name it? Lady Yarn. I actually said something different, but somebody said, don't be saying that. Nobody don't know you like that. Those people don't know you like that, Shauna. Don't say that. Okay, so I'm just going to say laying the yarn. Because I got my imagination. That's all I'm going to say. So we're going to lay the yarn on the stitch. And that's how we're gonna do that. I don't like it though. I don't like it. You're taking me to a place I don't like, but I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna show you my pop, lock, and drop. A lot of people, I think a lot of you know my pop, lock, and drop though, but I'm gonna show you how to do it anyway. I think I need to stop drinking that. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my half double crochet. I have scraps of yarn everywhere. All right, so I'm just gonna do a small, like really, really tiny. See, this is ugly. Ugly. So we gonna do this lady yarn and see how this works. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm actually doing something besides my pop, lock, and drop. I can't believe it. All right. So I need the background color. So that's why I'm adding that. And I need, for both sides, background color. I can't believe this. And then I just need a little tiny bit. I'm going to eyeball it. And just a tiny, tiny bit for the senses. I don't know why I just said senses. But for the senses, I'm going to do a little bit. All right, so that is for the triangle in the middle. And we're going to start with our background color. How I'm adding this, I'm sorry, I just got to add it the way I got to add it because I'm sorry. I just have to because I can't do it. I can't do that laying this yarn. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm doing this. Okay. This is horrible because I feel like I'm not confident, y'all. I'm not confident showing this to y'all because when I was taught how to do this, it took me like weeks and weeks and weeks, whereas the other ones just took me a couple of hours. But this took me a long time to get. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. We're going to stop right here. Okay. Right before you get to the part that you need to change your color, you got to stop. Okay. Right before. I don't like it. I can't believe I'm doing this. All right. So right here, we're going to get here. Okay. And we're going to lay the yarns. I wanted to say lay the hands, y'all. I really did. I wanted to lay hands on it, but somebody told me don't say it. Don't say it. Okay. So we're going to lay the yarn. Okay. So laying the yarn is like this, right? You're going to lay it over and put it around, right? Like that. And then you're going to pick up your background color, continue your background color, finish it off. And as you're doing it, you're going to do the next stitch, right? So as you're doing that next stitch, that's when you're going to stop. I don't like this. I can't believe I'm doing this. You're going to drop that background color to the back, pick up the color that you just added, pull through all three. Pull through all three, and now yarn over, and you're going to go in and take this, put it over. I don't like this. And then bam. I don't like this. You know what? I did it. I don't like it. Okay. I'm going to do it again. See what I'm doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we got to go back 1. This is stupid. This is stupid. Yarn over. Go in. Pull it up. Okay? Drop the yarn down. So this is what I was taught how to do. I'm sorry. This is what I was taught, and it may work for someone. I don't know. But it doesn't work for me. So basically, you're just putting this. She said next pop, lock, and drop. Basically, you are looping this around the inside of the stitch. That's basically what you're doing. You're looping this inside. Yeah, I don't like it. I told y'all I don't like it. I told y'all. That's why I said I was laying some hands because I don't like it. But this is how you do it. And then now that I'm about to get to 4 because I got 5 stitches. So now I got 4, right? Now I'm gonna go to the other bobbin and lay hands. Lay hands on it like that. Finish off, right? Put the tail around to the back. I'm laughing at y'all. Y'all silly. Y'all like that other one though. And then that's how we go. And that's how you do it. You're basically wrapping it around. Do y'all even want to see the single crochet one? Maybe the single crochet will work. So this is how it looks. And I think I did very well despite the fact that I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't believe I did it. I don't believe it. No. The senses say no. All right. I don't like it either, but I'm telling you, some people like it and some people do it, and I don't know why. I think they making their lives way harder. Okay. Multiple colors. Now we're going to pop, lock, and drop. Don't do single crochet. Y'all funny. All right. So we're gonna do my pop, lock, and drop. Now, the reason why I did my pop, lock, and drop is because somebody showed me how to lay hands on that other one, and I ain't like it. But then I learned how to do the scoop the loop, but I thought my pop, lock, and drop was better because the scoop the loop, I didn't like to keep coming out of the stitch and adding it. I didn't like that. I just needed to change my colors and go as fast as possible because time is of essence for me because I have a lot of projects. So when you have multiple color changing, well, whoever taught me, it was an older lady. Hey, boo, how are you? You a Diva Squad member. Make sure your new code is coming out for March, okay? Your new code is coming out for March. And because it's crochet month, and because it's women's month, and it's craft month, we got an extra special thing for my Diva Squad members. Yeah, my Diva Squad members got a lot of stuff coming. And did y'all hear the story, Diva Squad members? Y'all gonna be the first to know my news. I got some good news coming. And y'all gonna be the first to know it. All right, so my pop, lock, and drop, right? So once I get to the part where I need to change colors, I yarn over, pull through that one, drop it to the back, and then I'm going to pick up my new color and pull it through. And I'm also gonna pull down on this a little bit because I just want to seal the deal a little bit, right? So yarn over, pop in my stitch, pull up the loop. We're gonna lock it and drop it. Well, not drop it yet, but that's why I call it pop, lock, and drop. So that's basically what we're doing. We're popping it in, we're locking it like that, and then we're dropping it. So when I lock it, all I'm basically doing extended HDC. An extended HDC is basically what I'm doing. So I'm pulling through all three, and I'm going to tug down on this a little bit. Yarn over, put through the stitch. So you're going to pop it in, yarn over, pull through that first one, yarn over, and pull through all three. So yarn over, go into that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through that one, yarn over, pull through all three. And then when it's time to change your color, you're going to go into the next stitch, pop it, yarn over, pull through that one stitch, lock it, drop it, and then pick up your new color, pull through all three, and then I tug down on it a little. Like, I have a way when I'm crocheting real quick, like I'll be doing it all at once. I do it all at once. I don't know how, but I do. So that's basically how I got the pop, lock, and drop. You're gonna pop it in, lock it, and then when you have to change your color, you're gonna drop it. Pick up your new color, and then that's how you do it. Now, some major hacks. Let me explain. When you're doing multiple color changing, depending on what your graph look like, sometimes you might have one right here in the middle. So if you have one right here in the middle, do I keep adding new yarn? Depends. So say for instance, I had three red, three white, three gray, but I'm gonna add a red in between this gray. I'm going to am I going to add another gray here? No, only because it's only one. Because it's only one, I am not going to add another gray on the side. What I am going to do is crochet over it only because it's one. Now, the most I will crochet over is 3, because more than 3 or even 4, depending on, if it's 4, I might do it depending on the situation. If it's more than that, then I will just add a whole new other straight yarn, bobbin, only because you will start to see the other color in between once you start spreading out that those stitches. So if it's like 5, you're going to start seeing this other color. So in between here, you're going to start seeing this gray in between this cream. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to see this gray in between, because that's actually what I used to do. I used to crochet, and I used to crochet over it, and then you see it. Now, another thing I see, and I'm gonna tell you what I see. Say for instance, you are finished with this red, right? You're finished with the red, and like I said, I crochet over it, right? So because I'm finished with it, this is what I'll do. I'll pick up this cream. Actually, I gotta lock it. Then I'll pick up the cream. I'll go through all 3, tug down on it a little, and then crochet over it. First of all, because I'm finished with the red, I don't need the red anymore, because the next one is going to be a different color, which I'm going to show you how to do that too. So because I did that, right, I'm crocheting over it because I don't want to weave, right? But the problem is you're going to start seeing this red over here. You don't want that. You don't want that. So what I do is drop it. I drop it and leave it, so that when I have to go to the next row and I'm crocheting, right now I'm going right to left, so when I have to go back from left to right, I'm going to crochet over it, over the red, so you do not see it because it's already over the red. But say for instance, if it's just one stitch, right, and you have to crochet over that one stitch, and you still gonna see that red crocheted over the yarn. I don't do that. What I do is I get me where is it? Where did, oh my god, my cat took it. I'm sorry. Thank God I had two of them, but I had put it underneath. I had it already on the string. My cat took it. I'm looking right at it. She took my string with the, oh my god. Thank God I have two though. What I do is I just actually I did it here. See, right here. I crocheted over this. So I had this one here, right? And then I crocheted over it. And then you see it. See? I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah. You'll see that turquoise in between. And that's what we don't want. We don't want to see this turquoise in between. So what I did was I dropped it. That one stitch, I dropped it, and I'll weave it in. So like I said, if I'm doing like a 200 by 200, 150 by 150, I'm only literally weaving in maybe. I can't believe you staring at me too. Like she knew what she was doing, y'all. So I'm sorry. So I would take it and I would just go through the back where I had that same color. And I would just go over that same color, and that's it. And that's how I would weave it in. Instead of crocheting it in, I would weave it in. And I would have to do this to maybe like 5. So the most I might have to weave in for a large blanket, I believe the last time I did, so the most I've ever done was maybe 30. And that's good. And that's only because I did the Haitian flag, and that has a lot of single ones that's just there. So that was the only one that I had to do 30. And that's the most. Okay, so I'm going to add this red in between there so that you can see, right? So pull through, yarn over, and bam. So I only did one. Now it's time to add the next color, which is red, because we're only going to have just one in between. So I'm going to put that through like that. Put it through there. I usually make my tail a little longer because I would crochet it up as I'm going up each row. I will crochet it up depending on how long this is, and I would make it long enough to weave it in or use this to weave it in depending on the situation. But I'm also going to take this color because I'm going to carry it over. Being that it's only one, I'm carrying it over. I'm going to put it on top of my hook from the back, yarn over, pull through that one, and then drop it. And now it's time to pick up the gray again, pull through. And so basically this right here would drive me crazy. I'm doing 4, actually 5 color changes all in one. So after I color change from the cream to the gray, I have to automatically change to the red and then automatically to the gray again and then automatically to the cream again. And for some of the Graphghans that, especially mine, my graphs, you're gonna have a lot of that because it's a lot of color changing sometimes depending on the detail, and that's what you're gonna need to do. And let me pick that up. So if you have to change colors at the end, I'm gonna show you how to do it at the beginning and at the end. So say if the next row after this have to be a new color. So we're gonna finish this red on this row, but the next row after that, the beginning have to be a new color. So we're gonna yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up, yarn over, pull through that one and drop. So now it's time to add that new color. I'm going to add this. I'm going to, while I'm still at this row, I'm going to pull this through, tug down on this a little bit. Make sure I have a long enough tail and turn. Now, I have these two hanging. Now, I won't need to use this red anymore because this is a new row, right? Or if I have to push it over. So say if I only need 3 of these, or 2, or 1. Say if I only need 1 of this color, this light blue, I will pick up the tail and put it on top of my hook, as well as this yarn right here. I will go in to my next stitch, pop it in, yarn over, pull through that one, and drop it to the front and pull through. And then continue. So for the beginning, this is how it will look. And then now it's time to change colors for the next one again. How do you know where to drop front and back? The back of your work. You're always dropping towards the back of your work. If you don't know the back of your work, you could follow it through your graph. And so if you're going to start at the bottom from right to left, that's always row 1. So row 1 is always going to be your odd number, and row 2 of course is your even number. So wherever you started, that's your front, and when you turn around, that's your back. So all of your odd numbers will be your front and all of your even numbers will be your back. Wherever you start, it's going to be your front. Wherever you when you turn it around, the opposite, that will be your back. So even if you don't know which side by just looking at it is your front and which side is your back, you will know by the number. So if I'm on number 10, number 10 means I'm on the back. So I'm on row 10. I'm just guessing. I'm on row 10. So row 10 would be the back. Now it's time to pick up my gray, and I got to do this multiple color change all over again. And this is just about it. I just gotta go over the bobbins a little bit and how I don't tangle my yarn, and then that's it. And I'm going to, so you can see it easier now, being that we're in the back, I'm going to pull the two strings on top of my hook, go in, yarn over, pull out, then yarn over and pull through that one. And then now I'm going to take the gray again and yarn over and pull through. Drop that. And there you go. Now I only pull through one because we just need to lock it in at one time. Now to add a color at the end, it's basically the same. Wait a minute. Did we get 3? No. Oh no. And counting is something that we definitely have to do because sometimes you might lose count. And when you lose count, your image may be off a little. So make sure counting is a must. And then that's it. That's how you add the yarn so that you can add it to the beginning. Wait, what was I supposed to do? Oh, add it to the end. But that's just like changing colors. That's why I did that. I'm sorry. Caffeine is bad, y'all. Caffeine and tea is bad. And I double bagged it, y'all. I done had a double shot of a bag of tea. All right. Now yarn over, pull through that one, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then yarn over, not yarn over, pull through that one, and that's it. So that's how you do it at the ends for the beginning and the back. Always in the back only. Yeah, because you don't want to mess up your the front of your graph. You don't want to mess the front up. My bad. I'm taking notes in my project book you told me about. Yeah, you good. Can you do the pop, lock, and drop with a single crochet? Absolutely. About to do it right now. This is my single crochet pop, lock, and drop sample right here. All right, so single crochet, go in, pull through that one, and pull through both. You're gonna pop it in there, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through that one, and then pull through both. Pop it in there, yarn over, pull through that one, and drop. Pop, lock, drop. Pick up the gray, and we're going to add that to, I'm going to pull down on this a little. Now, because I had to add some more yarn because I ran out, I'm going to crochet over that as well. So I'm going to pick that up on top of my hook, go into that next stitch, yarn over, pull through that one, pull through both. Pop it in there. And as I'm doing that, I'm crocheting over this, I'm crocheting over the tail. Yarn over, pull through one, yarn over, pull through both. And the last one. Now I'm going to pull the tail over to the side. I usually do not, when I change my colors, I do not add it over there. I don't crochet the tails all the way over here to the side where I have to change colors again. If anything, when I go back over from left to right, then I'll crochet over on top of this again. But I don't do that for the simple reason because this is going to push the tails over here and it's going to get in the way of me changing colors. So I usually just pull it to the side, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through that one, and drop to the front. Pick up my next color, and then I'm going to tug down on the gray a little bit and pop it in again. Pop it in, yarn over, pull through that one, and then both. And then that's how I do my single crochet pop, lock, and drop, which is basically the same thing. The only difference is that we're doing single crochet and you're only pulling through 2 instead of 3. And pop it in, lock it, go through both, pop it in, lock it, drop it, dropping it to the back. Pull through my new color and then pop it in again. And then we are going to turn it around. And it's the same thing as the half double crochet. The only difference is you are doing single crochet. My arm getting tired. All right, let me breathe. Let my arm breathe for a little bit. So correct me if I'm wrong. Say I'm working on eyes, like a solid color for like a bear or something. My bobbin, if using, could be small, but you would crochet over the tail and like, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. So yeah, so if this was the eye of the tiger, if this was the eye of the bear or tiger, yeah, I would crochet over that same color. But if it was that one right here, I would just weave it in like I showed you how to weave it in. So that's why you have nothing to weave at the end, really. Does that make sense? Right. I crochet basically over my ends, and those that I don't crochet over is basically the ones with the white. Not white. Oh, Jesus. The ones with the like 1 stitch or 2 stitch, and I can't crochet over it. But with this one, like I was saying, if I was to keep going up, so say if I had like 5 more rows to go, what I would do is I would take my tail and crochet it, like put it on top of my hook each time. That way I'm crocheting over the tail each time I go up. But if it's just like 2 dots, I'll leave it as it is. And what I would do is, because I know I only need 1 or 2 dots, I will make the tail a little long. That way I can weave it in. Or sometimes I'm lazy because I don't like to always weave it in. Sometimes I would take a small hook and I would weave it in with the hook. I would just do, my thing with, but I would get a small hook. This right here is a 5. So this is the H. Now I would probably get something smaller than that. What is this? Is this a? This is an F. Yeah, maybe I would do F. I might even do like a C, because it's smaller. And then I would just take that and pull through and weave as much as I can. And that's only if you don't. I just pulled that out. That's only if you have a short tail and your tail is too short and you can't use the nail, not the nail, what you call it, the needle. My bad, I'm sorry. But yeah, I would just do that a couple of times. You just want to make sure that it doesn't come out. And when you do your so now what I have done is I would use fabric glue, because fabric glue is not like super glue, and it's not like it doesn't make a hard um like a hard ball or something. Fabric glue, sometimes I use that and just put a dot there and cut, and it never come apart. But it depends. I don't sit there with the fabric glue and do that. I don't. I also don't, because it's not a hard ball, but it is going to be like a layer that it's going to be like a little stiff. It's not hard, but it is stiff. So I would do it like inside here. And it's in the fabric glue that I have is like a long tube. I didn't even think of bringing it out. It has like a long tube, like a little spout. And I usually would put the spout inside here and just add it in between. That way you don't feel it on the top. You don't feel it. All right. Anything else I need to go over? All right. So there is I do have, because it would be like another like 30 minutes to explain the whole bobbin thing. I do have a video on my YouTube channel that you could look at, and it shows you different methods of bobbins. And I am also going to do a separate video on how to not tangle your yarn, because look, I tangled my yarn. But guess what? I have no problem with it. I literally go and just pull and pull and pull. I could pull this down. I usually just pull and pull and pull from my skein of yarn. I usually do that, or I would leave it as is. And especially for my background, I would use, depending on the background, how much of the background color I need, I would use 2 of the same color skeins, because obviously we're going to need like 2 or 3 of them. So I would use 2 skeins, and I would have one on one end and one on the other end. It's already bobbined up. I ain't got to worry about bobbing it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't got to do none of that. And then the middle is where I just pull. Like what I just did. I just pull. And I will eyeball what I need and just pull and get the amount that I need, and then cut it. Obviously it would be more than this. And then I would just let it hang. And that's how I do it. And to be honest, it works for me. But when I do turn my work, because all of my string is going to be towards the back. So when I turn, I'm turning the same way each time, like this. Like I was always taught to turn your work like you're turning a page in the book. So if I am turning this way, I need to turn back to the other page. So I'm going to page 20. Now I'm going back to page 19, and then 20, and then 19. So I would just keep going back, but I wouldn't turn like this. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't turn like that. I would just turn this way and then back this way. Any other questions? Wait, somebody having a whole conversation while I'm on my live, and it's still showing up. This single crochet is like extended single crochet. Yeah. Yep, sure is. I like the pop, lock, and drop better. Me too. You put the yarn over the hook when you're weaving the tail. Absolutely. I put the yarn over the hook when I'm weaving. So it's like, putting it over. And I do that when I'm changing colors. I do that when I'm like yarning over the tail, crocheting over the tail. Look, I promise y'all I will not have caffeine next time. I'm sorry. I'm looking at messages that is being sent to me. My phone messages come on my computer as I'm on here. Oh man, I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving, y'all. I'm moving. So I'm getting ready to move to Georgia. I can't wait till I move to Georgia. So, do I have any Georgians? Y'all gonna come and crochet with me when I move to Georgia? Georgia. All right. I think that's it. So yeah, the bobbins. You could use regular bobbins. Which I will. I have. Uh, I think I have a list. I can add it in the groups, and I can add it in different places. The bobbins, and then I also have. You could get the bobbins anywhere. Amazon, whatever. And it's yarn bobbins because they have sewing bobbins, but you need the yarn bobbins. But if you want, I can send you the link or add it to this description. I will add it to the description in the video. You can make balls, make them into big balls and bags. I use storage bags. I used to use them, but then I got tired of balling them, putting them in balls and putting them in storage bags. But if you don't want your because sometimes you make your balls bigger than the bobbin, putting them in the storage bags can help. And then you seal it all the way until the string hangs from that bag, and you have a little piece where the string hangs from, and you just pull it from that. And I like that. I actually do like that because it could be, you can even drop it on the floor and you don't have to worry about the ball getting on the floor and dust and stuff getting on the floor. You don't want your yarn on the floor, but being that it's in the bag, it can. Or I usually put it in my organizer, my yarn organizer, and use it like that. Put your yarn in the yarn organizer. That's another thing. And clips. The clips that I use for my green screen, I just wrap it around the clip and then clip it onto something. Like clip it if you have like a board or something, or that board with pegs or whatever, you clip it on that. And I have, don't laugh because I'm that chick that find anything, y'all. Anything. So don't laugh when you see this. I'm that chick that uses anything. Where is it? I just saw it. Where it go? Oh, here it is. Flexi rods. I use flexi rods. Look. See what I'm saying? You could use flexi rods and then wrap it around something, and then you can't even see it because of my green screen. Sorry. I just let it just disconnected. But yeah, and it just hangs. So listen, your mind can go so many places when you want to do you can't even see it, but it's hanging. Flexi rods, you could do a lot with flexi rods, y'all. Do you understand what you could do with these flexi rods? I don't even use them for my hair. I don't need them for my hair. I use them for yarn. I really do. I use them for yarn. Um, I sometimes add them. Don't judge me. Like when I have a little bit left, I will use it and wrap it up and yeah. But anyway, that's just me. Lawrenceville. I don't know where is that from. Grovetown. I swear I'm gonna be moving to. Oh, why am I talking too much? I'm a try my eagle scarf again tomorrow. Oh, I'm a try my eagle scarf. No more caffeine, I promise. I hope I get it now. I think you should. Just make sure make sure you're using a good hook. Make sure you test your hook. I have a YouTube video that proves hooks matter. It proved, like, when I was using that Susan Bates and the boy, it was like the yarn kept going like this. Like it was not going as smooth as you saw me going with the clover. So that's something that you could take into consideration. And also your yarn, your hooks, your graph, and your stitches. All of that take into consideration. I showed you the end of the row, the beginning of the row, the middle, the one stitch, and the multiple. I'm done. So thank you guys. That was only 2 hours. I'm going to chop this video up because my son was so brilliant in telling me that I needed to do that, so that not everyone has to watch 2 hours of this, but some do. Some like to watch it. But I will definitely take this, chop it up, or do my own little. I might do another extra video and record myself doing this, and I hope it helped. I hope it helped. You got a good graph then, Kizzy. You got a good graph. Also, listen, if you want to learn how to graph, I am adding for tomorrow, because tomorrow's the 27th. It's supposed to be for the month of March, but I'm going to do an early bird special. For the month of March is my birthday. So I'm going to give a birthday coupon special for my ebook. For if you want to learn how to graph or graph like a diva PC stitch ebook, I am going to put that on sale in my shop. That's actually in the description already. So if you want to learn, I thought somebody was coming through my door. If you want to learn, the ebook will be on sale first thing in the morning. Actually, I'm gonna put it on sale right now. If you want to learn, it's gonna be on sale. Give me like 5 minutes and I'll put it on sale, and then I'm going to share it in the groups. So just watch out for that if you want it. I'm going to give, because I'm gonna be 45, so I'm gonna give 45% off on my ebook, and then 45% off. But for the early bird special, I'm gonna give a little bit more than that for the early bird special. So you guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate you. The PC stitch, you do need a PC, but I am in the process of doing the Mac ebook. So if you have a Mac and you want to learn that, I'm in the process of doing that. All right. So you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later. I'm going to be doing more stuff and putting more stuff out there. I also do motivational, promotional videos for your business, and I use the tarot cards. So some agree, some don't agree. It's your preference, but it's more motivational. I'm not trying to tell nobody's future or anything. I'm just basically using it to try to, give you an insight on your business and what's best for you, so that it works good for you in your life path, period. Because that's how I'm at where I'm at, based off of me using that life path. So you guys have a good one, and watch out for the new specials for March, because I got a lot of stuff coming, y'all. A lot. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, new pattern, fire skirt coming out. Watch it. Bye.